Correct. Good evening to all of you. Today we are going to discuss the section 49 and today is the last class for the input tax credit chapter. This section 49 deal with utilization of or payment of the taxes interest penalty. How we are going to use the taxes. Example, I have the tax liability in the IGST and also I have the ITC, let's say under the CGST, SGST or vice versa. How to use, what is the provision relating to the utilization of input tax credit for the tax liability within the same head or the other heads, that we are going to discuss. So it is purely practical and very important for examination point of view. You may expect question relating to the section 49 or you may have some part in your bigger question. And as discussed, we will do some practical question and the revision of the entire ITC chapter. So be ready for that. Correct? Let me start. Section 49, subsection 5. It says that amount of input tax credit, in short, I will use the word ITC. Amount of ITC available in the electronic credit ledger. What is the meaning of electronic credit ledger? We have already discussed. What we have discussed? ECL means it is a ledger. When you are filing the 3B, whatever the ITC you have taken, the same will be credited to the electronic credit ledger. And when you will make the payment, then the amount would be debited to the electronic credit ledger. One thing that there can be the head like CGST, SGST, IGST, and minor head will be the tax, interest, penalty, others, and fees also. So we are going to discuss all this stuff, but 49.5 says that amount of the ITC in the electronic credit ledger of the registered person on account of IGST shall be first utilized toward the payment of IGST and remaining. So you have the ITC under IGST, the first amount goes to its own tax liability, that is IGST, and amount remaining, if any. So it means after utilizing the amount of IGST ITC for the IGST tax liability, if there is some extra amount, let's say you have some excess ITC, then what happen? Will it goes to other? It say that toward the payment of central tax, state tax, as the case may be, UT tax, in that order. See, my dear friend, this in that order has been changed. How it is being changed, we will discuss. Here we are going to discuss 49A, 49B, 88A, etc. But now, what is the sequence? What is the preference? What is the order? We will discuss. So what we have understood till now, we have understood that amount of the ITC under IGST will go first to the IGST tax liability. If there is excess balance, it will goes to CGST and SGST. Earlier there was a sequence. Now the sequence has been changed. Where it has been written, we'll discuss in some time. For the time being, keep on hold. This part has been changed. In that order, this part has been changed. Coming to the clause B, the central tax. Now we are talking about the CGST ITC. In the clause A, we have discussed IGST ITC. In the clause B, CGST ITC shall be first utilized. Again, they are saying what is the first priority for them. The first priority will be central tax, and amount remaining, if any, may be utilized toward the payment of IGST. So again, the same point, If you have the tax liability under each head, you have the ITC under each head. One thing is crystal clear, that ITC will be given to the own tax liability first. Shall be first utilized toward the payment of the state tax, and if amount balance is lying extra, then that will goes to the IGST. So what we have discussed, CGST has the tax liability, SGST has the tax liability, IGST has the tax liability. If IGST has the ITC, the first will be allocated toward the IGST tax liability. And if there is any excess, what is the order, what is the preference? It can goes in any order, in any manner. Now I am adding one word, the C and S, any order, any manner. Where it is written, we'll wait for some time. I will explain the rules also. CGST has ITC, then it will goes first to the CGST tax liability. Amount remaining will goes to the IGST. Will the CGST give the amount to SGST tax liability? Answer is no. Same pattern, if we talk about the SGST or UTGST ITC, the first it will goes to the CGST. No, it will goes to its own tax liability. It means SGST or UTGST tax liability. Remaining balance, if any, it can give the amount to the IGST. But whether SGST, this is my question to all of you, kindly give me the answer. Whether SGST ITC can be used for the CGST tax liability. This is my question to all of you. My question is whether SGST ITC can be used toward the CGST tax liability. Awaiting for your answer. Answer is no. Answer is no. CGST, ITC or SGST, ITC can never be given to center or state. C can never give to S or S can never give to C. All are correct? All are correct. Till here, any doubt? SGST, ITC cannot be used for payment of, absolutely correct. Ayush, my question is, you have the excess balance in the SGST and you have the tax liability in the CGST. Whether SGST, ITC can be used for the payment of the CGST tax liability? Whether SGST, ITC can be used for the payment of the CGST tax liability? Answer is no. Absolutely correct. Now let's move to the another part. Provided, now, provided. See, one thing is clear now. One thing is clear, that CGST, ITC can be utilized for IGST tax liability. Similarly, SGST, ITC can be given to the IGST tax liability. Say yes or no. Repeating again. See, SGST has the excess balance, CGST has the excess balance. After setting off, after utilizing for its own tax liability, and if there is any excess balance, then they can give to I. Agreed or not? They have the excess balance. CGST has the excess balance and SGST has the excess balance. Whether CGST and SGST both can goes to I, answer is yes. Answer is yes. Now, is there any order? Is there any sequence? Sir, where there is a sequence? Listen my question carefully. I am talking about, I need some amount. He taken IGST, ITC, fine. still he needs some amount. Say there is a tax liability under IGST is 10,000 and there is a ITC under IGST is 4,000. So the 4,000 has been entirely taken. The balance 6,000. We are talking about balance 6,000. Now assume there is a 10,000 in the CGST. There is a 10,000 in SGST. So now my point is IGST will take the amount first from C, first from S, or in any manner he can take. The answer is provided that input tax credit on account of SGST shall be utilized toward the payment of IGST only when the balance of the ITC on account of the CGST is not available for payment of IGST. So they are saying CGST has the extra balance, then I has to take amount first, they can go to S. They can go to S. Any doubt or is it clear? Any doubt or is it clear? So I am saying IGST needs say 10,000. IGST need 10,000. Now IGST has, let's say, 4,000. CGST has 10,000. SGST has 10,000. My question is, is there any sequence? Is there any order? So I first take from CGST. No, it will take first from I. And what is the balance requirement? Now we need 10,000, out of which 4,000 has been taken from its own account, 4,000. So the balance requirement is 6,000. Now the 6,000 would be taken from C or from S. Here there is a provision that S will give the amount only when then CGST become fully exhausted and not available, then only S will give to I. Kindly confirm this is clear or not. Everyone are requested to give me the confirmation. I think, is it okay? Rekha has asked the question 16.2 that ITC is not implemented. What do you say, na? Fine. So I'm reading the question. Rekha has asked the question in 16 subsection 2. It is mentioned that ITC is not claimed unless the tax charge on that supply is actually paid to the government. Perfect. And in the second proviso, it is written 180 days until you not pay the supplier. Supplier also not paid to the government. So as per 16.2, not even claim ITC until the tax is paid is not clear. See, I am supplying to you, Rekha, and there is a credit period of 3 months. I am supplying to you, there is a credit period of 3 months. Now, you will make the payment immediately? No. You will make the payment after 3 months. But if I have issued the tax invoice right now, according to the time of supply, considering all the provision, my liability will arise today. I have to pay along with GST R3B by next month, 20 or 22 or 24, whatever the due date. I cannot say I will make the payment only when my customer give the amount to me. This never happen. Like in the government contract, amount comes after 1 year. So the contractor will pay after 1 year. No, contractor will pay immediately. And if the supplier supplying the goods or services is not receiving the amount within 180 days, then the recipient has to reverse the ITC. These both provisions are different. There is no correlation. Is it okay? Kindly confirm. Okay, are you saying clear? Bharat is saying clear. Absolutely correct. Pooja, your understanding is correct. IGST has the tax liability. First, they will take from I, then they will take from C, then they will take from S. If CGST has the tax liability, SGST has the tax liability, we are going to discuss. This part not yet completed. Correct? Now moving to the next clause, clause D. Clause D, I am not reading because it is replica of the clause C. Whatever we have discussed in the clause C, it is the replica of the clause C. So wherever the word state is written, you will find the word union territory is written. Now, this part we have already discussed, but what is the language? It says that central tax shall not be utilized toward the payment of SGST or UTGST. And similarly, state tax or UT tax shall not be utilized toward the payment of central tax. So C and S will never give the amount to each other or cross tax liability. We have already understood. Now we are reading the provision of 49 capital A. Now we are reading the provision of 49 capital A. What is the 49 capital A? Utilization of ITC subject to certain condition. Notwithstanding anything contained in section 49, the ITC on account of the CGST, SGST or UTGST, notwithstanding anything contained in 49, the ITC on account of the C, on account of the S, on account of the U shall be utilized toward the payment of I, C, S or U as the case may be only after ITC available on IGST has been first utilized towards such payment. What does it mean? It says that SGST can give the amount, CGST can give the amount to IGST or CGST, or SGST can give the amount to IGST or SGST. No problem. They are ready to allocate the amount. They have the excess balance. They are saying they can amount. Who will not give the amount? CGST ITC. SGST ITC give the amount to its own tax liability unless and until the IGST. What is the meaning? The meaning is if the CGST needs some amount, you understand. If let's say I'm talking about CGST, if the CGST need 10,000, if CGST need 10,000 and assume CGST has 20,000 ITC, IGST has 20,000 ITC, they will take, CGST will take first from I till the time I become zero. Till the time I become zero, they cannot touch their CGST ITC. Similarly, SGST needs some tax, needs some amount, and both IGST and SGST has the ITC. So 49A is saying SGST will first take from I, and if I become zero, closing balance of the I becomes zero, then they can go the own ITC. Then they can take from own ITC. Makes sense? Is it clear or not? Currently, we are discussing theory. We will discuss practically also. We'll discuss practically also. First, confirm that from law perspective, is it okay? From law perspective, is it okay? Please confirm. Abhi, Ayush, in some time we will start the practical also. First, I have to complete 49B and rule, then I will take the example. Considering all the example, all the provision will take 2 to 3 examples. Fine. Bharat is saying, can IGST ITC given to C or S? Yes. The first provision we have discussed that IGST ITC first will goes to IGST tax liability and remaining balance can go to C or can go to S. Now, what is the sequence? Any order, any manner, any sequence. There is no sequence at all. It can goes to any order, any manner. सोमेश क्या डाउट है आपका? सोमेश, if excess of ITC of C or S, if used by I liability and excess balance later on it can be used to C or S? No. Try to understand. See, first amount will be given to its own tax liability. See, try to understand this concept in the layman language. See, Mr. A need some amount in his house. A needs some amount in his house. Can A give the donation without fulfilling its own house requirement? When A will think of the donation, so when A will donate the money to others, A will donate the money only when A complete its own house requirement. Whatever the liability A has, he will complete the liability and then remaining balance can be given to others. Same things is applicable for ITC. If I need some amount, then IGST will be given to I tax liability. C needs some amount, CGST tax liability will given to CGST. S, then only they can think for donation. Try to understand the rules from two angles. First angle of donating the amount, second angle taking the amount. Here both provision need to be understand. See, when I am talking about IGST ITC, so first we will talk about how it will be given. IGST will be given first to I, then C, then S. To C and S, it can be any order, it can be any manner. Please write down somewhere. I am requesting, please write down somewhere. I am saying IGST ITC has excess balance. Then IGST ITC will be allocated first to IGST tax liability. And after that, if IGST has the excess balance, they can go to C, they can go to S in any order, any manner. CGST never give the amount to S. Here you will find ITC will be given to CGST tax liability first and remaining, if any, it will be given to I. But in the first part, we have discussed IGST ITC will be given to C and S, any order, any manner. Now the situation is, try to understand. C need amount. Where I has also excess, C has also excess. My question, kindly carefully listen. C need amount. C has the tax liability. Now I has excess ITC and C has also excess ITC. 49A is saying, section 49A is saying, C will take first from I. And that is the reason 49A was inserted. Similarly, S needs some amount. S has excess ITC, C has excess ITC, I has excess ITC. Whether S will take first from S or I. Again, the answer according to the section 49A, again the answer according to the section 49A is A. SGST will take the ITC of I first, and then it will go to its own tax liability. Is it clear? Kindly confirm. 49A is clear to all. Please confirm. 49A is clear to all. Please confirm. So let me move to the section 49B. Order of utilization of ITC. It says that government may, on the recommendation of the council, prescribe the order and manner of utilization of ITC on account of the ICS, as the case may be, toward the payment of any such taxes. What 49B is saying, that government can notify the order. For notifying the order, for prescribing the order, they have issued 88 capital A. They've issued 88 capital A. Now let's read. On ITC on account of the I shall be first utilized toward the payment of I, and remaining amount, if any, may be used toward the payment of C and S in any order, any manner, whatever they want. Please confirm. Let me take one example. IGST has 10,000 ITC. IGST tax liability, let's say 3,000. CGST tax liability, let's say 5,000. SGST tax liability, let's say 5,000. Can you tell me this IGST 10,000 will be given first to I or C or S? Please tell me, this 10,000 will be given to I first, C first, or S first? Please tell me. I'll give the answer. I think Pooja has asked one question. Shivam has asked one question. We'll confirm. But according to the provision which we have discussed, please tell me IGST ITC will given first to I or C or S or any order, anyone. What? The answer is first to I. We have already discussed that you will think of donation. Anyone will think of donation only when they complete their own liability. So I has ITC, but I tax liability is 3,000. So 10,000 will be given always first to I. IGST, this IGST will be given first to I. So I'm writing 3,000 here. Now what is the balance? Balance is, what is the balance? 7,000. Now please tell me. Now let me explain you first. They are saying to C or to S, they are using the word any order, any manner, any proportion. What is the meaning? It means they can think to give the amount 5 to C and 2 to S. They can think 2,000 here, they can think 5,000 here. They can think 3,000 here, they can think 4,000 here. They can think nothing to C, everything to S if want. Nothing to S, everything to C. My point is, try to understand. After insertion of section 49B, after insertion of section 49B, I excess balance can be given. I excess balance can be given to I first, and whatever the remaining balance is there, it will goes to C or S, any order, any manner. Give me the confirmation. Now the concept is crystal clear with respect to 49B and rule 88A. Yes. Bharat, it's dependent on us. It's dependent on us. Government will never do. They are prescribing the provision. They are saying you will decide any order, any manner. You can decide in any order, any manner. Please, everyone confirm or kindly ask the question if you have. Please ask the question. Please ask the question if you have with respect to these provisions. (49A) is not clear. So fine. I'm repeating, but in some another way. Why 49A has been inserted? Why 49A has been inserted? So first, it is overriding 49. It means whatever the sequence is being given in 49, they are overriding. Then what? They are saying CGST needs some amount, SGST needs some amount, then they will take first from I, then they will go to their own tax. If C needs some amount, S needs some amount, they will take first from I, and balance, if any, they will take from its own tax, its own account. I'm repeating once again. CGST has 10,000, SGST has 10,000. Now the CGST require 5,000 or CGST require 12,000. Now the CGST require 12,000. My question to all of you, or my explanation or answer to all of you, that C need 12, C will take first from I, and balance, if any, they will go to the CGST ITC. Its concept is clear, kindly reconfirm. Its concept is clear, kindly reconfirm. Why the 49A was inserted and what was the main purpose and how it affect, is it clear to all? Kindly confirm. Rekha, the balance would be lying in their account head only, in particular respective account. It can be used in future or it can be used for any other tax order. Daneshwari Marali, kindly confirm. Sir, 1,000, 7,000, I have given the answer. Gaurav, if IGST has excess amount and SGST want more than CGST, allowed? Is it allowed? I told you now, I has excess balance. It can give in any order, any manner to C and S. Nothing to C, entire to S, possible. Everything to C, nothing to S, possible. Half C, half S, possible. 25% C, 75% S, possible. Sir, any order, any manner, any proportion. Is it okay? But instead of ITC, we have CGST in this case. Please. If I does not have the amount, then definitely they will go to C. They will go from its own tax liability. The kind of concept is we had seen in supply chapter also applicable. When we studied there, I think was an order of utilization. Supply, I think there is no order of utilization. Might be the learned faculty has explained probably, but in the supply chapter, nothing to do with offset. Understood. Now, one question is being asked by Shivam. What is the difference between 49A and 49A and 49.5B and C? You are asking B and C, then for okay. See, 49B saying CGST. See, very good question. Now, what is the difference between 49 subsection 5 clause B and 49 capital A? Correct. Now, 49.5B is talking about CGST ITC, how it will be goes to the tax liability. CGST ITC, how it will be goes to the tax liability. 49.5B saying CGST ITC will first go to the CGST tax liability. Remaining, if any, can be given to other. Now, what is the 49A? 49A is saying CGST need amount. In the 49.5B, we talked about CGST ITC, how it will be allocated. In the 49A, we are talking about CGST needs some amount, how they will take from others. Is it clear? Where's that? Shivam? Shivam, kindly confirm so that can move to the next question. So Pooja has asked the question. First, set off with IGST excess balance, then CGST on account. Absolutely correct. Somesh, sir, once credited to the IGST, the ITC of C or S, then in further month, the same can be utilized? Yes, same can be utilized. Right, Somesh. Bharat, if IGST does not want to give the ITC and want to carry forward, is it possible? Not possible. They will throw the error message. When we'll file the return, then it will throw the error. If I have some balance, you cannot take from C. The reason is because I would again further allocate it now. See, Bharat, try to understand one more point. I am adding one more point to all. If I has the excess balance, then why they have changed the preference by ITC Act has been changed by inserting the provision 49. My balance used so that there would be the less allocation. So it is not possible. Ankur, I think your half question is coming. If section 49, what is the balance? What is the balance part of the question? Pooja is asking if need amount, then we first use from I, but if C and S need the amount, then they will first use from I, right? Absolutely correct. Clear? Absolutely correct. Any other question? Kindly confirm. Any other question? Kindly confirm. Let me go to the 88A once again. ITC on account of I shall first be utilized toward the payment of I, and remaining, if any, may be utilized toward the payment of C and S, as the case may be, in any order. Second proviso says ITC on account of the CSU shall be first utilized toward the payment of I. ITC on account of the CSU shall be utilized toward the payment of ICS as the case may be, only after ITC available on account of the I has been fully exhausted. C will give the amount to C, S will give the amount to S only when I becomes 0. Or C can give the amount to I, S can give the amount to I only when I becomes 0. What is the meaning? If I has the excess balance, he will give to every accountant. First, they will give their accountant, and balance, if any, it will goes to C, it will goes to S. Requesting everyone to confirm so that I can try to understand. Clear na? Let me ask one practical. We'll discuss 2-3 practical questions. 2-3 practical questions. You give the answer. This is not like a study material question. It's, you can say, it's framed by me only. General question. IGST has 2000 requirement. IGST ITC, let's say 10,000. CGST ITC, let's say 10,000. Same for SGST. I need 10,000. CGST need, say, question is very simple. I need 10,000, C need 15,000, S need 15,000. Now tell me, IGST ITC 10,000, to whom it will be allocated first? To whom it will be allocated first? My point is, the IGST ITC will be allocated to which accountant first? IGST ITC of 10,000 will be given to which account? IGST ITC will be given to which account? IGST ITC has the balance of 10,000. It will goes to which account first? IGST ITC has 10,000. Which account it will goes? The answer is first to I. Very true. First to I. Now my answer. Now my second question. C need 15,000. C need 15,000. He will take first from C or he will take first from I. Kindly give the answer. Just answer. Give me the answer. C need 15,000. I has also excess balance. C has also excess balance. What would be the first preference of the CGST to take the amount? Will it be I first or will it be C first? The answer is I first. Let me read the provision once again. Let me read the provision once again where it is written 49A. Notwithstanding anything contained, ITC on account of the CSI or CSU shall be utilized toward the payment of I, C and S. C will give the amount to C. S will give the amount to S only after ITC available on account of I become 0. Do you agree with this? That C can give the amount to C, S can give the amount to S only after the IGST ITC becomes 0. Meaning thereby IGST ITC will be first utilized, then CGST will utilize C's tax, C's ITC, and S will utilize S ITC. Give me the confirmation on this part. The sequence would be I first, then C. I first, then C. 49A is saying, try to understand. 49A is saying C can give to C only when I becomes 0. Now, in this particular question, please tell me, whether I has zero balance. Whether I has zero balance, you will say, no sir, it has 8,000. You tell me whether I has zero balance, whether I has exhausted, whether I become 0. No sir, it has 10,000. Then the C need the amount. First they will take from I, then from C. Similarly, for S, they will take first from I, then from S. Repeating once again, 49A say CGST needs some amount, they will take from C. Okay, but when? Only after IGST becomes 0. So it means first they will take from I, then they will go to C. Similarly, S needs some amount, they will take first from I, then will go to S. Yaad rakhna, please remember the point which we are discussing, how the CGST tax liability, SGST tax liability will take the amount from others. Is it clear? Somesh, still your answer is different. I am saying I first, then C. Similarly for SGST, I first, then C. (49A) and provider to rule 88A are same. We'll discuss. Understood, clear, Rekha. So I can say now, let me read along with you. 49B saying, 49 instead of 49, we are directly reading the rule 88A. Rule 88 say that I will give the amount to I first, then C and S in any order, any manner. So can I say, please confirm my statement. Can I say in this example, I can give, let's say, entire 8,000 to C, nothing to S. Is it possible that he decide 0 to C and enter 8,000 to S? Or is it possible they can divide equally 4,000, or is it possible they can divide 2,000 here and balance 6,000 here? My point is, after reading the rule 88A, it can be in any order, any manner, any proportion. Everything is okay. Kindly confirm. This part is clear. If there is shortage, then you have to pay from cash. If there is a shortage, there is no sufficient ITC, it means you have to pay from your bank account. If there is a shortage after utilizing the ITC, there is a shortage, then if there is a shortage, then pay the amount in cash. What is the problem? Pay the amount in cash. What is the problem? Kindly confirm. Is it clear? Great. Now, come back to the question once again. You all have understood correctly. So they can give any order, any manner, and balance amount. See, I need 15,000. They will take 2,000 from I and balance amount from C. How much C need? 13,000. They can take maximum 10,000. Can they take from S? You tell me. CGST need 15,000. They have taken 2,000 from. They have taken 2,000 from C I and 10,000 from C, and balance they need 3,000. Please give the answer whether CGST requirement of 3,000 can be taken from S. The answer would be no. Answer would be no, not possible. So meaning thereby 3,000 has to be paid in cash. I can write here also not applicable, because if C is not taking the S, then S can also not take from C, or vice versa. C cannot give to S or S cannot give to C. Please tell me how much amount I should write. 9,000. If I'm writing here 9,000, then nothing will be given for CGST or SGST. Now there is one problem. Till now is it clear now? Please confirm. Till now is it clear? Please confirm. Font size is highest. Do you agree with me? In this case, this taxpayer has to pay 3,000 in cash, and SGST closing balance of input tax credit is 1,000. Please confirm. In this case, the SSC taxpayer has to pay 3,000 of CGST in cash, and SGST ITC is 1,000. Is it clear? Kindly confirm. The closing status. There is no fourth column. Okay, you are talking about this one. So if you have some balance, then you need to pay now. Government need full tax liability. Government need full 15,000. So you are saying 2,000 take from I, then from C, then the balance requirement has to be discharged in cash. I can say this is not the perfect utilization. This is not the perfect way of utilization. Why, sir? Let me do the same example once again. I am saying instead of here 2,000, please give 3,000 to C and 5,000 to S. Can we give the amount in any order, any manner? Yes, any order, any manner, no problem. The only requirement, I should become 0. What happen if I will do in this manner? Let's do the question once again. I has given 3,000 to C and 5,000 to S. Can they give? First question, can they give? Answer is yes. After rule 88 capital A, there is no problem. It can give any order, any manner, any proportion, no problem. Fine. So I am saying I has given 3,000 to C. Now what is the balance requirement of C? You will say 10,000, 12,000. So I am saying 10,000 he will take from C and balance 2,000 he will pay in cash. Till now you are agree with me? Any question please ask. Till now you are agree with me. Any question please ask. And thank you very much, Raghavan. You are saying the same thing which I am right now doing. Can I say that C need now 2000 only because they have taken 3000 from I and balance 10,000 from C. Great. Agree? Great. Now, in this manner, the balance requirement or balance available in IGST ITC is 5,000. He has given 5 to S. Not applicable, and here they will take 10. What is the closing balance? The closing balance of ITC in the SGST is become 0. Now you see, if I will follow this, if I will apply my mind, if we apply all our mind before utilization, we can have the better option. You can see the example above. Here you are making the cash outflow of 3000, but just you made the some changes. Now your cash outflow requirement has been reduced by 1000. Is it clear? Please confirm, is it clear? Is it okay? Everyone is clear, right? Everyone is clear. Now I'm asking the second question. Ready for second question? We'll do certain question. Screen size, font size, everything is visible. Kindly confirm. Everything is okay right now? Check it. Now I am going to the another question. Let me read right here. CGST, SGST and IGST. So I just simply need to change the amount. I'm writing the question number 41 of the institute material. 1000 is the IGST tax liability. 300 is the CGST tax liability, and similarly 300 is the SGST tax liability. Now 1300 is the ITC in IGST, 200 is the ITC in the CGST, 200 ITC in the IGST. Please tell me. First amount where you will write. You tell me the first amount where you will write. You will write the first amount in which field? Please tell me in detail. Bharat, not possible. IGST without making to C and S, if they want to carry forward, not possible now. After insertion of the rule 88A, 49A and 49B, it is not possible. Now the sequence is changed. They have to give, then only they can use their own account if required. All are correct. It will first take So 1300 will be given to the IGST ITC first. Now the remaining amount of 300, it can be given in any order in any manner. Let's say I'm writing 200 and 100. Is it okay? Okay. Before that, I'm asking one question. One question. CGST need 300. Can they take first from CGST ITC and second from IGST ITC? I'm repeating my question once again. C needs some amount. Is it possible that C can take the amount first from C, then from I? Is it possible? First from C, then from I. Is it possible? First from C, then from I. Is it possible? See, CGST have some tax liability. Now, CGST has the sufficient ITC. IGST also the sufficient ITC. Can C take first from C and then from S, then from I? No, not possible. No, not possible. Why not possible? Why not possible? Let me go again to the provision and read. Why I am reading again and again, so that it should be crystal clear to all of you. It says that amount of CGST, SGST, ITC can be given only after ITC, on account of the I become utilized fully. Meaning thereby CGST ITC can go to C, can go to I, SGST ITC can go to I, can go to S, but only point the IGST ITC balance should be 0, then only they can allocate the amount. So in my practical problem, I can say the first from C, no, it is not possible. They have to take amount, say 200 from I, and the balance they can take from its own head, possible. Now similar pattern, S need 300. Can they take directly from S? No. Can they take directly from S? No. Then what to do? They have to take from I, so that I become 0, and then they can go to the own head, own ITC for discharging the liability. Now I has 1300. It has given 1000 to I, 200 to C, then balance 100 given to S. Whether the balance is become 0, 1300 minus 1000 minus 200 minus 100, yes, it becomes 0. Now I can say 49A. 49A, now it can be applied. How it can be applied? They say that C need, if some amount they can take from its own head, S needs some amount they can take from its own head, and balance if any to be taken, or balance if any to be paid in cash. Is it clear to all? Is it clear to all? Kindly confirm. This question is clear to all. Whether this question is clear to all, kindly confirm. Question number 1 is clear to all. Now, like Karthik is saying, absolutely correct. It can give in any order, in any manner, whatever manner you want, you can do. What can be the other possibility? Instead of 200 from IGST to the CGST, it can give 200 to C and 200 to S. It can goes in any order, any manner. Let me do the same question once again. So instead of 200, let's say I'm putting 100 here and 200 here. Is it possible? Possible. So what happened? if C has taken only 100 from I, then what is the balance requirement? 200. If S has taken 200 from I, then what is the balance requirement? 100. In this case, the closing balance of the ITC becomes changed. So this is the second variable or second possibility. Is it okay? Kindly confirm. Is it clear? Everyone is okay? $100 in cash? No. 100 would be closing balance. CGST ITC can be utilized by SGST. So probably wait. I think I have mentioned in the wrong column. Sorry, I think I have mentioned in the wrong column. Let me check. One second. No, I have written correct. I think I have written correctly. So where it is written? C. Neither C can take from S or S will give to C or C will give to S. This is not applicable. Not correct. Miss Ruchita, not correct. Kindly confirm. Ruchita, not correct. Kindly confirm. Can we take 300 whole towards CGST? Obviously, yes. You can take 300 toward SGST, but in that case, you have to pay cash for closing the liability of other. In that case, that would not be the proper utilization, but you can. So means the closing balance of the 100 would be carried forward to the next period. Next month, you can utilize in the next month. Yes, it would be carried forward. Yes, Dhanupriya, it is possible you can give nothing to C, entire to S. It is possible, but that would not be the proper utilization. Why not proper utilization? In that case, you have to pay 100 rupees under CGST from your cash or from your bank. But if you ask the possibility, that is possible. I'm not denying. According to the rule, I'm not denying at all. Sir, in any case, SGST take ITC from C? No. C and S will never give to each other. We have discussed 49 subsection 5. Go back. Wherever there is a doubt, read the provision. Wherever there is a doubt, read the provision. Read this. The central tax shall not be utilized toward the payment of state or UT. Clause F. State tax or UT tax shall not be utilized toward the payment of CGST. Is it clear? C and S are enemy to each other. They will neither take nor give the amount to any other. Kindly confirm. Is it clear? So that I can move to the rule 86 capital A and rule 86 capital B. Rule 86 capital A and rule 86 capital B. We can go to the rule 86A and then rule 86B, or rather, first ask me any doubt. Do you have any doubt, or is it now everything is okay? Can you please take all amount in the center of the cell? Sure, I will take. No problem. I will take. Fine. Is it more better? Is it more better? Abhishek, which part I have to repeat? You tell me, because we have discussed almost 1 year, 1 hour. We have completed 1 hour 15 minutes. So which part you want me to repeat? Entire. You want me to repeat entire provision once again? Is it? So let's do one thing. Let's do one thing. Let's do one thing. Take the break of 15 minutes. Take the break of 15 minutes. We will resemble at 7:30 and then we'll try to summarize. We'll resume at 7:30 and then try to summarize whatever we have discussed, and then balance I will start the new provisions. Repeating again what we will do after the break. After 15 minutes, we will start the revising the provision and then we'll read or will explain the balance. Now in this ITC chapter, I have to explain rule 86 capital A and rule 86 capital B. That's it. And then we will do the revision of entire ITC chapter. Fair enough? Is it okay? Karthik is saying if we are using the section 49A for answering this, can we use C 49 for answering this? Then we can use C against S and vice versa, because C. You are not correct. You are not correct. You are not correct. C. You cannot. Got your point. Got your point. Let me confirm this point. Let me clear this doubt. Then we'll move to the another. See, 49A is saying. 49A is saying CSU shall be utilized for the payment of I, C, S or U. As the case may be, only after ITC, available in I has been fully exhausted. So they simply like to tell, they are not liking, they are not saying that to whom we will take the amount, whom we will give the amount. They are only saying that how the ITC would be used to other, how these ITC. So what is the restriction of the ITC that we will read? But they are saying that C, S, etc. they will not take from its own until and unless I becomes 0. But whether C can give to S or S can give to C, we have to read from main provision. See, please read this word, as the case may be. They are overriding 49. They are overriding 49, but according to the concept that they have given, they are overriding only to the extent of the utilization order. Only to the utilization order. What could be the order to take the amount from I or to take the amount from C, as the case may be, whatever the permissible permutation combination is given in 49, considering that. They are only overriding the preference sequence, but they are not overriding that C can use the S or S can use the C. I hope it is okay. Reconfirm, Karthik. Yes, Ankur, absolutely correct. Best utilization or ITC where there is a minimal cash outflow. To the extent you can take the benefit of the ITC, that would be better instead of paying the liability in cash. So, Ram sir, over to you. We can start the break and we'll resume again at 7:30. We'll resume again at 7:30. Now let me start 86A first, and then in the question I will try to complete and cover the revision of the whatever we have discussed in 1.5 hours initially. 86A is talking about restriction on utilization of input tax credit. Commissioner or an officer not below the rank of the assistant commissioner authorized by him is empowered to impose the restriction or utilization of ITC available in the electronic credit ledger if he has reason to believe. In the exam, if you are need to write 86A, if it is being asked, please note this word has to be there. Reason to believe is an important term in this particular section. Who? Commissioner or officer not below the rank of assistant commissioner, if they have the reason to believe, for what they have reason to believe, that ITC, what they have reason to believe, that ITC has been fraudulently availed or is ineligible, but they have taken the ITC. What is the possible circumstances? The first, ITC has been availed on the basis of the tax invoice or valid document. ITC has been availed on the basis of the tax invoice or valid document issued by the non-existing supplier. So I can say that actually supplier is not doing the supply, is only involved in the fake invoicing, or by a person not conducting any business from the registered place without receipt of the goods or services or both. It means ITC has been taken, say Mr. A is a supplier, Mr. B is a customer. So B has taken the ITC without actually goods or receipt. Or the supplier Mr. A is not actually doing the business. It was not in the existence. It is only the bogus invoice. Third is tax in relation to which has not been paid to the government. Or the tax which has been mentioned, it is not at all paid to the government. What we are discussing, 86A. Why we are discussing? Try to identify the situation in which the ITC is not available to utilize. How it is not available to utilize? Commissioner or any officer authorized by him, if they have the reason to believe that ITC has been availed fraudulently, either supplier is not in existence or without receipt of the goods or tax has not been paid. Next is the registered person availing the ITC has been found non-existence or not conducting the business from the registered place. Now they are talking about Mr. B is also not available. Only on the paper he is there, only for the purpose of the ITC is taken, but actually is not doing the business or not conducting the business from the declared place. Next is registered person availing the ITC is not in the possession of tax invoice or valid document. See, you remember 16. What is the first condition? Tax invoice or debit note or any other tax paying document should be there. So here that part is being covered. Clause number, last clause, the tax invoice is not there. Second was the goods or services has been received. This is second part. Correct, na? Clause B. This was clause A. What was the clause C? Tax has been paid actually by the supplier to the government. Clause C. 3B has been filed. That is ignored. So out of these 5 conditions, the 3 conditions are there. Out of the 5 conditions, 3 conditions are there. Then what? If it is satisfied, then what? Then they are saying the commissioner or officer authorized by him not below the rank of the assistant commissioner, then they are satisfying the ITC so availed, then they can impose the restriction. What they can impose? Not allowing such ITC to be used for discharging the liability under section 49 or not allowing the refund of any unutilized amount of such ITC. They are saying that will put the restriction on the electronic credit ledger. Please note one thing, there may be the mistake. Please note one thing, there can be the mistake. What can be the mistake? In the exam might be, or in the understanding also, you were saying that they will debit the amount to the electronic credit ledger. Suppose it is appearing that 20 lakh ITC was fraud, and they can debit the electronic credit ledger, or they will not allow the debit to the electronic credit ledger. In the rule, the situation is this: cannot allow debit to the electronic credit ledger. In the rule 86A, officer not have the power to debit the electronic credit ledger. No, not at all. They have only the power. They will not allow the debit. It means balance will be lying in the credit ledger itself. Suppose closing balance is 50 lakh. 50 lakh would be lying over there. Only point that he cannot, Mr. B, recipient cannot further debit the amount of any tax liability. He has to discharge the liability in cash. Kindly confirm. This part is clear. Not allow debit, or allow or debit the electronic credit ledger. I hope now there would be no mistake with respect to this part. So that this above restriction would be valid for a period of 1 year. From the date of the imposing of the restriction, if action has to be taken, they have to take the action within a period of 1 year. So what the action? They will then identify the case, they will decide the case, impose the penalty, do the assessment, whatever they like to do. But if my ITC restricted for more than period of 1 year, it will automatically open, or I have to request for opening the same. Next is 86B, restriction on the use of amount available in the electronic credit ledger. 99% plus 1%. This rule is saying restriction on the use of amount available in the credit ledger. Normally, I can say whatever I have the liability. I can use my ITC for discharging the liability. Whatever we have discussed in 49A, 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 49B, 88A. But the new rule 86B, it says that 86B says that you can maximum use 99% ITC. 1% has to be discharged in cash. When? Let's read the provision. If the value of the taxable supplies is more than 50 lakh, in the value of the taxable supplies, two types of the supply will not be counted. First, exempted, and second, zero rated. May I ask the participant, can you tell me what is the meaning of zero rated supply? Quickly tell me what is the meaning of zero rated supplies. Quickly tell me what is the meaning of zero rated supply. What is the meaning of zero rated supplies? What is the meaning of zero rated supplies? There are only two supplies which are zero rated. One is export and second is SEZ. One is export and one is SEZ. Please do not say that supply which are having the rate 0. So that is 0 rated. No, sir. 0 rated means only export and SEZ unit for developer. Please do not add exempted supplies. Please do not use the concept that whatever the supply which are attracting 0 rate, that is 0 rated. No. Fine. So they are saying that in the calculation of the 50 lakh, we will not count exempted and 0 rated. If this is the case, then Rule 86B says you have to pay 1% tax liability in cash. So what is the 50 lakh? Is it tax liability? It is value. It is value. Let's say tax ka rate is 5%. Tax ka rate is 5%. Then what will be the tax liability? 50 lakh multiplied by 5%. 2.5 lakh. 2.5. This is the tax liability, and this tax liability ka 1% has to be paid in cash. How much amount would come? 0.25,000. Is it clear? I am giving the example. Suppose my turnover is, let's say 1 CR. Let's say 1 CR. My total turnover is 1 CR. And my rate is say 5%. How much it would be? 5 lakh. 5 lakh is the tax amount multiplied by 1%. It means I have to pay 50,000 in cash. 50,000 in cash. Suppose I have the sufficient ITC, still I cannot use? Answer is yes. Rule 86B says that even though you have the sufficient liability, but you cannot pay in cash. So please note one thing. Here they will not ask that direct question. Might be in the bigger question, the tax liability, gross tax liability is coming more than 50 lakhs. Then in your mind, 86B should click and you have to write accordingly. But there are certain cases Ayush, so do you mean that you have not understood? Is it clear, Ayush? Is it clear? Or not clear? Kindly confirm. Sushil Kumar Bare, 0 rated supplies. The meaning of the 0 rated supplies has been given in 16 subsection 1 of IGST Act. It is not in your syllabus. The export, etc. is not in your syllabus. Let me check once again. No. But I am just telling you what is a 0 rated. The two transactions are 0 rated: export and supply to the SEZ unit or developer. What is the meaning of export? Not required to understand. What is the meaning of supply to the? Not required to understand. These are the final topic. But why I am discussing now? Because so that it will become in your mind, or whenever we will read these topics like returns, etc. So it would have the better clarity. 0 rated. Now you will say, sir, why the word 0 rated has been given? Let me talk about why the word 0 rated has been given. Because government is saying you are exporting, you are bringing the foreign currency, you are helping India. So whatever the taxes is there, you are refunded. You will be refunded. Correct? That is the reason it is 0 rated. Coming back to the question, coming back to the rule 86B, we are discussing in the 86B that if your value of the supply, taxable supplies, excluding 0 rated, excluding exempted, is more than 50 lakh, then 1% ka liability ka 1%. Liability ka 1% meaning 50 lakh is the turnover and multiplied by the respective tax rate, then multiplied by 1%, that amount you have to be paid in cash. But there are certain a relaxation that if you are covered by these provision, then 1% is not required to be paid. If you are covered in if you are covered in any of the provision, you are relaxed from not paying 1%. What is the situation? Registered person to whom the rule is applicable, that is okay. Exception. If 1 lakh income tax has been paid either by registered person or by Karta, proprietor, managing director of registered person, any of the two partner, full-time director, managing committee of the association or board of trustee, as the case may be. Any person, these below, has paid the income tax, of rupees more than rupees 1 lakh in the last 2 financial year, for which the date has been expired of 139/1. In that case, we can say that this assessee is not liable under Rule 86B. What is the Rule 86B? If your turnover if your value of the taxable supplies exceed 50 lakh in any tax period, in any month, in that case, he has to pay 1% tax liability by discharging or by cash. He can utilize only 99%. What is the exception if Karta, director, partner, etc. has paid rupees 1 lakh income tax, more than 1 lakh income tax in the last 2 financial year? Which financial year will not be counted? Which financial year will not be counted? They are saying for which the time limit to file the return is not expired. So let me give you one practical case and then ask the same point. Let me give you one practical case. Mr. A is a registered person. Mr. A is a registered person. He has the turnover of, let's say, 55 lakhs in June 2022. Excluding exempted, excluding zero rated. Mr. A has paid the income tax in assessment year 22-23, 1.20 lakhs. Assessment year 21-22, let's say rupees 2 lakhs. In assessment year 20-21, let's say rupees 80,000. Now tell me whether Mr. A apply the Rule 86B, whether Mr. A need to pay 1% in cash, because he is of the opinion that because he has paid the tax liability, income tax more than 1 lakh in 2 years, so therefore he is being relaxed. Share your thought. (86B) is Mohammed Tokif. 86B saying every type of the export will be excluded, whether it is on payment or whether it is LUT, every type of the export will be excluded. So you will ignore the value. Exclude that if your value means pure domestic transaction, pure domestic taxable supplies, if exceed 50 lakh, Gaurav, if your taxable supplies in a particular tax period exceed 50 lakhs, then you have to pay tax liability ka 1% in cash. Is it okay? Sir, is it tax liability or tax value? Value. Value. Important point is value, not the liability. Give me the confirmation. Is it clear to all? Or anything which I need to explain? See, having value is exceeding 50 lakhs, not the tax. Fine. Dhaneshwari, you mean no sir, should be. Yes. Gaurav, quickly confirm. Is it clear? Mohammed Tokif, kindly confirm. Is it clear? Raghavan, is it clear? Kindly confirm. Now in this case, let me go back to the provision. Whether time limit of 20 to 23 filing date, due date of the ITR has been crossed, whether the due date is expired for this, yes or no, whether the due date is expired or not, whether the due date for 86 for assessment date 22-23 is expired. Answer is no sir, it is not expired. Okay, it is expired. Yes, it is expired. Yes. Now tell me whether he has paid more than 1 lakh for which time limit is expired. Answer is no, he has paid only in this year more than 1 lakh. Repeating again, will you count in the 2 year? Answer is no, because the assessment year 22-23 still has due date. Go back to the provision. The provision says 86B, limit the use of the ITC available. Rule 86B is applicable to the registered person having value more than 50 lakhs, value the taxable surplus more than 50 lakh, 99% ITC, 1% cash. But 86B will not apply in case where the person mentioned below have deposited more than 1 lakh as income tax in each of the last 2 financial year for which time limit has been expired. Now, I hope it is clear. In the given example, time limit is expired for 20-23. No. So it will not be counted. For the balance 2 year, he has not paid more than 1 lakh in 2 years. He has paid only 1. So therefore, I can say this particular Mr. A is not relaxed by the provision. He has to pay 1% in cash. The answer is 86B ka relaxation not applicable to Mr. A. He has to pay 1% in cash. Kindly confirm. Is it clear? Is it clear? Kindly confirm. Because he has paid only 1 year, not for 2 years, because for the current year 22-23, time limit is not yet expired. So that will not be counted. If I will exclude that, then there is only 1 year. But the law required 2 years. What is the 31st July? No? Income tax return, 31st July. ITR. Sneha, not. But kindly write. Can you please write once again your entire sentence? Sneha, not means what not? Not clear. Cash, only cash. Income tax paid by TD. The TDS and TCS is also, so tax liability can be used by TDS or TCS or can be used by cash. That is okay. In my view, TDS and TCS would also be considered. Ayush, I'm not going to the respective, yes sir, if the tax audit is not, yes, absolutely correct. One time explain. Sure, madam Rafiq bhai, I'm saying, what is the 86B? 86B is saying that we will not allow you to use 100% ITC for your tax liability. So how much you will not allow? Only 1% not. When you will not allow? If your value of the taxable supplies excluding exempted and zero rated is exceed 50 lakhs, then you have to pay 1%. When this provision is not applicable, we have discussed only first proviso that if the SSC, the following person, has paid more than 1 lakh, if the SSC has paid more than 1 lakh in the last 2 financial year. Which financial year? 2 financial year, but for which the time limit is expired. Registered person, Karta, proprietor, the managing director, any person, any of the 2 person to full-time director, member, etc. Fine, na? ITR of assessment year is not expired in your example. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Correct. Sometime because I ask multiple questions in the same particular example or in the same sentence. So that is the reason if you are writing only yes or no. So sometime it is not clear. That's the reason I ask you to tell me again. So what is the next? What is the next condition? What is the next condition? Next relaxation, next proviso, that if you have taken the refund, registered person has received the refund of more than 1 lakh. The refund chapter is again not here. So only the point you remember, the refund can be on account of the zero rated supplies made without payment of the taxes or inverted duty structure. You are taking the refund of more than 1 lakh of which component? Unutilized ITC. Okay. Whether unutilized ITC ka refund is permissible, not required to go into detail, but remember only these 2 points. Yes, if my outward supply is zero rated, made against LUT, letter of undertaking, that is made without payment of tax or inverted duty structure, there are the 2 cases in which ITC ka refund is permissible. Otherwise, there is no situation in which refund of ITC is permissible. Otherwise, there is no situation in which refund of the ITC is permissible. Make sense? Is it okay? For second exception, is it okay? Can you give me another example? So how I can take the another example? See, I am talking about assessment. Let's say, let me ask you another question. Let me ask. Suppose Mr. A is a partner of XYZ and associate, and Mr. A has paid the income tax of rupees 2 lakhs in the last 3 years. That is assessment year 22-23, assessment year 21-22, assessment year 20-21. Mr. A and Mr. B is the partners of XYZ. Mr. B has no tax liability in any of the years. Gaurav, I think Gaurav, na? Gaurav, kindly confirm. Example is okay? Gaurav, kindly confirm. Example is okay? Gaurav, quickly confirm. This example is okay to you? Then I will start explaining. What is the inverted duty? Bharat, again, I am requesting not to go in detail, but let me explain in short. Inverted duty means when the rate of input is higher than rate of output. Example, suppose I am into the manufacturing of shirts or garments, wherein I am purchasing the fabric at 12% and selling the particular goods in 5% or particular completed cloth in 5%. I am purchasing at higher rate, selling at lower rate. The ITC accumulated refund is permissible. Gaurav, kindly confirm. Bharat, kindly confirm. Is it okay? What is the intention of the government behind 86B? Rekha, only fake invoice stopping the fake invoicing, because the fake invoicing are in multiple of crores. multiple of crore. Let's say one has involved in fake invoicing of 200 crore. When he is required to pay 1% in cash, there is a problem. There is a problem because he will not have immediate cash. He will not have immediate cash. So the probability is 86B was introduced only to reduce the fake invoicing part. Gaurav, not yet confirmed till now. Anyway, I will explain this particular question only and then move ahead because now we have only 30 minutes. We have to complete. If I will use this example, A has paid income tax of 2 lakh in 3 years because this time limit is not expired, so we will not count. But yes, it will be counted. Yes, it will be counted. And what is the word written? Go back to the 86B. Please note, any of two partner, both partner, no, any of the two partner or whole-time director or member, etc. has paid the income tax of rupees more than 1 lakh in 2 years. In the current example, Mr. A has paid 1 lakh in more than 2 years. Sorry, more than 1 lakh. In this example, Mr. A is a partner, has paid more than 1 lakh in the 2 financial years. Therefore, in this case, the firm is not required to discharge its liability 1% in cash. Fine. Now moving to the can you explain second exception to 86B again? 86B says that you are allowed to take the refund in certain cases. One is export, that is zero rated supplies, and one is inverted duty. There are two category. There are two category in which government is saying we will give the refund of ITC. Fine. It means in any other case we cannot give in any other case ignorant. Apart from these two cases, the government will not give the refund of input tax credit ITC. So it means if someone has taken the refund under this category and more than 1 lakh for 2 years, no sir. 86B may not apply where registered person the refund of more than 1 lakh. That's it. In any of the preceding financial year, it is pertinent to note that refund should also be received in the preceding financial year. Correct. Then this restriction will not apply. Is it okay? Now the next thing, that suppose already I have discharged more than 1% in cash. Suppose you do not have the liability. You have the liability, but you do not have the ITC. In a particular month, you have the tax liability. But assume you do not have the ITC. Then you have already paid 1%, more than 1% in cash. If you already discharge the liability more than 1% in cash, then it will not applicable. Example, let me give you one example for this also. April, May, June. The gross tax liability, let's say in April is 20 lakhs, in May is 30 lakhs, and in June is 55 lakhs. Whether Rule 86B is applicable in first year, whether Rule 86B is applicable in first year, no, because the turnover is less than 50 lakh. Second month, no. Third one, yes. Now suppose there is no ITC. In this month, there is no ITC. In this month, there is no ITC. Here, there is an ITC of 60 lakhs. What example I am taking? In the month of April, there is a liability of 20 lakhs. In the month of May, there is a liability of, or there is a value of turnover is 30 lakhs. In the month of the June, there is a total sales or to value the taxable supply is 55 lakhs. Whether Rule 86B is applicable for April, for May, for June, For April and May, answer would be no. For June, answer is yes. Now, because he does not have the ITC, so he has paid cash 20 lakhs full. He has paid cash 30 lakhs full. Now, here, whether 1% would be applicable or not. Here, whether 1% would be applicable or not, then answer would be here no 86B will apply. Reason, for this month, the value is exceeding 50 lakh, but he has already paid more than 1% in cash. So what is the 1%? Let's say, rounding it off, he has a liability of, let's say, 1 lakh. Suppose he has the liability of 1 lakh. So he has already discharged the liability more than 1% in cash. So 86B is not applicable. Do one thing. Tax liability, I am assuming 5%. So fine. He has no ITC, so entire 1 lakh has been paid in cash. Entire 1,50,000 has been paid in cash. So now the question is whether he is required to pay 1% in cash. Answer is no. Why no? Because he is required to pay 2750, but he has already paid more than 2750. Cumulating all the period, he has already paid in the financial year more than 2750. Therefore, no requirement. Is it clear? Absolutely correct. Is it clear? Any, the word any has to be written. Any director. Any director. Is it clear? Requesting everyone to confirm. Requesting everyone to confirm. So the last part, 86B, would not be applicable in case of the government department. 86B would not be applicable in case of the government department, public sector undertaking, local authority or statutory body. In this case, 86B would not be applicable from my side. The ITC chapter is completed. ITC chapter is completed. So, any question you can ask. Now, the balance 20 minutes I would love to spend in the complete revision of ITC chapter. Do you ready? Not clear. Let me confirm to Ayush. Let me first explain to Ayush once again. Ayush, I have reported the 3-month total turnover. In the first month it is 20, in the second month it is 30, in the third month it is 55. I can say because for first month it is below 50 lakh, 86B not applicable. Second month it is below 50 lakh, 86B not applicable. Third month 86B applicable. Till now I hope it is clear. Now I have further explained that 20 lakh ka liability assuming rate of the taxes is 5%. So for first month, April ka liability is 1 lakh, May month ka liability is 1,50,000. But what happened? What is the problem? In this month, the taxpayer does not have any ITC. So he has to discharge the liability. How he will discharge the liability? Obviously by depositing the amount in cash. Cash means through bank account or through check or something. What is the amount which he will pay in cash? Sir, entire amount, because there is no ITC. So he has paid 1 lakh. He has paid 1,50,000. Now in the third month, the tax liability is 275. 1% he has to pay in cash. Yes, because 86B is applicable? The answer would be yes. How much you need to pay? 2750. But he will be covered by the third exception because he has already discharged more than 1% in cash. Therefore, 86B not applicable. He has already paid 2,50,000. So 86B not applicable. Is it okay? Ayush. So someone is saying practical. So let me do one practical problem. आयुष कंफर्म करना, किसी को कोई डाउट है तो प्लीज कंफर्म, देन आई विल स्टार्ट वन प्रैक्टिकल प्रॉब्लम. विल डू वन प्रैक्टिकल प्रॉब्लम. हाँ, right, Mahadev. Up to the date of the output tax liability if more than 1% has been paid. Can you give me a summary on section 18 on availability of the credit in special circumstances? We'll try. Definitely we'll try. So let me start one or two practical problem. First practical problem to all of you. ABC company registered under GST is engaged in the manufacturing of heavy machinery. It procured the following item during the month: electric transformer to be used in the manufacturing process, 5,20,000. Trucks used for the transportation of raw material, 1 lakh. Raw material, 2 lakh. Confectionery item, the item was supplied free of cost to the customer in a customer meet organization organized by the company, 25,000. You need to determine the amount of ITC available with the ABC company for July by giving necessary explanation for the treatment of various items. Please confirm. So we have discussed this example or not? Whether we have discussed this example or not? Karthik, I will surely repeat 86A, no doubt, no problem. And not discuss. Now tell me, okay, fine. Now tell me, please confirm whether ITC of electric transformer available. So kindly write 1 yes, 2nd yes, 3rd yes, 4th yes, 1st no, like that. Kindly write the ITC would be available of which component. ITC would be available of which component. We have discussed this. Correct. We have discussed this. Fine, no problem. Let me move to the next question. So ITC would be available for electronic transfer. ITC would be available for truck, raw material, but last item, confectionery, not available. Now let me discuss this. XYZ is a registered under GST, is engaged in the manufacturing of taxable goods. Perfect. Compute the ITC available with XYZ Limited for the month of October. Repeating again, XYZ Limited registered under GST, engaged in the manufacturing of taxable goods. Compute the ITC available with XYZ for the month of October. Input A, GST is 1 lakh. One invoice on which GST payable was missing. So let me complete the question, then we'll start one by one. So it has the inverse supply input A, total 1 lakh, but one invoice was missing on which GST was 10,000. Input B, 50,000. Input are to be received in 2 installments. First has to be received in October. It will be received in 2 installments. First to be received in October. In which month we are calculating? For the month of October we are calculating. So they are saying the total installment there will be 2, but one installment will be received in October. Capital goods is 1,20,000. XYZ has capitalized the goods at full invoice value including tax as, and also it avail the depreciation on the invoice. Point number 4, input service 2,25,000. One invoice dated 20th Jan on which GST was payable has been received in October. Now tell me, point number 1, whether ITC would be available for 1 lakh or 90,000 or 1,10,000. Give me the answer. ITC would be available for 1,90,000 or 1,10,000 or what? Please tell me. Will the ITC be available on 1,90,000? So you, for earlier question, ITC up to 90,000 because 10,000 ka invoice is missing. Absolutely correct. What reasoning you will there? What reasoning you will write? What reasoning you will give? Dhanupriya, answer is yes. ITC you can use for unlimited time period. Till the time your GST number is active, you can use for any year. 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 10 year, 20 year, no problem. So there would be the closing balance. It can be available for using. What reasoning you will give? Reasoning would be section 16 subsection 2 says that there has to be the tax invoice or debit note or any other tax paying document in the hand. In this case, because invoice is missing, so ITC is not available for 10,000. Is it okay? Let me move to the next. Input B, 50,000 input are received in 2 installments. First has been received in October. Will the ITC be available of 25,000 or 50,000 or no ITC? Along with reasoning. Reasoning is important along with reasoning. Along with reasoning. ITC not available. Bharat, 86B. Why you are writing 86B? Why you are writing 86B? 86B is restriction on ITC. Utilization of ITC. Means you have taken the ITC, you cannot use. Or you have to pay 1% in cash. We are not talking about 86B. Here you need to give the reasoning of 16(2)(a) that because invoice is not there, so ITC is not available. In the second part, no ITC would be available because we have discussed in the proviso to 16(2) that if the goods are received in lot or batch, then on the last lot, last installment, we would be able to take ITC. Absolutely correct. Now the third point, capital goods. ITC would be available or not? Please give the reasoning. ITC would be available or not? Please give the reasoning. ITC would be available or not? Please give the reasoning. ITC would be available or not? Please give the reason. No ITC because this person has capitalized full value including GST. According, wow, 16.3, wow, excellent. According to 16 subsection 3, because on the GST part, it has been capitalized, therefore no ITC would be available. Depreciation is being availed on the full value, no ITC would be available. Thank you so much to all the participants for your lovely reasoning. All has given the correct answer. Great. What is the last point? Input service 2,25,000 out of one invoice 50,000 has been received in October. Give me the reasoning. Give the reasoning. Whether ITC would be available of 225 or minus 50 or only 50 or no ITC. Great. Dhaneshwari. Wow. Really appreciated. Really appreciated the reasoning that you have given. The answer would be no. And why no? 16.4. Answer would be no. Why no? 16.4. You have to write the 16.4. ITC can be availed till the due date of the return for the month of the September under section 39 or filing of furnishing of annual return, whichever is earlier. And because the date is October, so therefore ITC would not be available. And please read this. I think there would be some point regarding the annual return. What is the date of annual return? 15 September. So due date of the September or actual filing annual return, that is 15 September, whichever is earlier. So I can say the last date is 15 September because invoice has been received after this date. ITC not available. I hope it is clear. Pooja, is it okay? You have asked a certain practical problem. Is it okay? Now we can move to the quick round of the question answer. Quick round of the question answer only for 5 minutes. No. Ayush, very good question. Once ITC would be lapsed, it means lapsed. You cannot avail this 50,000 ITC in lifetime. You cannot avail this ITC in the lifetime. Is it okay? So let's move to the quick round of the question answer by another 5 minutes. Karthik, whatever you have the doubt now, please keep it with you. We'll discuss on any day. We'll discuss on any day, that I can assure you, but not today. Not today. Okay. We'll discuss on any other day, but not today. So let me move to the quick round. You start, please start giving the reply. First point. So if my exempted goods become taxable goods, can I take the ITC of capital goods? Closing lying in my hand. If my exempted goods become taxable, can I take the ITC of capital goods also, which is lying in the hand on the date of conversion or on the date of the taxability? On date of taxability, I'm talking about. Somebody, Bharat, I will definitely say you should refer the institute material at the end of this particular recapsule or something like that. Let's recapitulate. You can see everything is chart, so nicely chart. You can see the chart, not required to go anywhere. You can refer the chart, excellent chart is there. So still if you have any problem, you can ask me. 18(1)(d), excellent Karthik. If exempted become taxable, I would be able to take stock ITC of the stock input held in semi-finished goods or finished goods. I can take the ITC and capital goods also. Then, can you tell me, if the invoice is older than this period, I cannot take the ITC. Exempted become taxable or composite become regular. I cannot take the ITC if invoice is older than this period. Answer is 1 year. Answer is 1 year. Next question to all of you. Next question to all of you. Can CGST ITC be given to the SGST ITC? Can CGST ITC be given to the SGST tax liability? Can CGST ITC be used for SGST tax liability? Can CGST ka ITC would be available for discharging the tax liability of state GST? Answer is no. Answer is no. Fine. See, in the 16 subsection 2, we have discussed 5 conditions. One condition with respect to GSTR 2A 2B. One condition was with respect to 2A 2B. That is new condition and important for this exams. Can you tell me what was that condition? One condition we have discussed with respect to 2A 2B, something like that. What was that condition? Which is recent changes. Can you help me that the condition which is newly inserted regarding the 2A 2B, can you explain me in your language what was that condition? The answer is, according to the section 16 subsection 2 clause AA, the supplier should file the GSTR1 and the details should be communicated to the recipient. Rule 36(4) says it should be communicated in the GSTR2. Yes, Pooja. Yes, Karthik. Absolutely correct. No problem. According to 86B, for calculating 50 lakh, which two category of the supply will not be counted? Which two category of the supply will not be counted? Which two category of the supply will not be counted? Two category of the supply would not be counted in calculation of the 50 lakhs, which we have discussed in the rule 86B. Which category of the which two type of the supply will not be counted? The answer is one is zero rated supplies and second is exempted supplies. Fine. Zero rated and exempted. Can you tell me, if my turnover exceed 50 lakhs, then there are the 4 exceptions. You all are requested to give me one explanation as per your choice. This is my last question. I am giving you 2 minutes to give the reply. What is my question? 86B is not applicable, or in certain circumstances, it means you are not required to pay 1% in cash. But when there are the 4-5 circumstances we have discussed, you are requested to write anyone. You are requested to write anyone. For 86B, I'm talking about proviso. After that, please give me the answer for one more question. Sorry, I'm asking one more question. That in the 86A, we will discuss one question. We'll discuss one question, but let me answer. Please give me the answer for 86B. Please give me the answer for the rule 86B. For the rule 86B, there are certain proviso in which the 1% liability not required to be discharged in cash. When there are 4 or 5 circumstances we have discussed, I need only one from everyone. Yes, anyone has paid the income tax of more than 1 lakh in preceding 2 financial year. Excellent. Payment of tax more than 1 lakh. Great. Hitesh, in the ITR last 2, which is yeah, you have added new word expiry wala. Great. Akshanil, exception if refund of ITC under inverted duty or zero rated exceed 1 lakh. Wow, you still remember inverted duty. That is really appreciated. You all are remembering the word inverted duty. Really appreciated. Rekha, if the cash payment in any previous month, yes, more than cumulative cash. Great. If the supplier file the ITC in the GST. Okay, Jaya, you are giving the answer to the last question. Absolutely correct. Payment of the tax is in excess of 1%. No, in cash. Sakshi, your sentence is correct, but in the last you should write in cash. Ayush, in the 2 preceding financial year more than 1 lakh. Bahut badhiya. Very true. 86B, absolutely Isa. Right, Dhaneshwari. Bharat, absolutely correct. Pooja, absolutely correct. Sneha, more than 1 lakh. If payment of income tax more than 1 lakh, Sneha, but you should add 2 year ka concept. Till the time you will not add 2 year and also the concept of expiry date, then the sentence would not be completed. SSC paid more than 1 lakh in the last. Yes, absolutely. Like Sakti has given the full sentence. I'm not talking about exactly language. No, just concept. Kartik 86 be not applicable. IT 96 to more than 1 lakh. 1962 more than 1 lakh in the 2. Yes. Kata and the partner director paid income tax more than. बहुत बढ़िया मालूम. Turnover up to 50 lakh, turnover up to 50 lakh, right, Siva? So great, yeah, great. Last question from each one of you. 86A, I have requested that one technical word you all write. One technical word you all write. If the question is coming in exam, one technical word which I have underlined. Can you tell me what is that underline? What is the main keyword in that? Something reasoning related. Something reasoning related. Something reasoning related. Something reasoning related. I told you that if this is being asked in the question exam, you would write that word must. What is that? 86A. Rule 86A. So officer has the power to block the input tax credit. Maximum period of 1 year. That is okay. But what was the keyword that you will write? Reason to believe. If the commissioner, not below the rank of the assistant commissioner, has reason to believe. Which reason to believe? Which reason to believe? What is the reason to believe? That ITC has been fraudulently availed. Then he has the power. Kindly select sentence. Will he debit to the electronic credit ledger or will he not allow the debit to the electronic credit ledger? Which part is correct? Debit to the electronic credit ledger or not allow the debit to the electronic credit ledger? Which part is correct? Debit or not allow the debit? Debit or not allow the debit? Which part is correct? Please give me the answer. Debit, he will debit or he will not allow the debit. Absolutely correct. He will not allow the debit to the electronic credit ledger if circumstances so are. From my side, today class is completed. Over to you. If you have any question, we'll wait for 2 minutes. I'm waiting for your any question, or otherwise, good night to all of you. Otherwise, good night to all of you. We'll meet on the next class with new chapter. Is it okay? Any question you may ask? Otherwise, good night to all of you. We'll meet on the next class with new topic. ITC chapter completed. Thank you very much. Fine. Good night to all of you. Ram sir, over to you. Okay? Thank you. Goodbye.